Hello and welcome. Tonight, I am making one of my favorites for special occasions or when you're just in the mood for something a little more fancier. We're making chicken parm my way. I'm throwing the playbook out the window. Who says you need to use spaghetti? Who says you need to use marinara or mozzarella? Tonight, I'm going to show you how I make my chicken parm. It is going to be crispy. It is going to be heartwarming and delicious. Here's what you're going to need, and here is how you make it. All right, first off, what you're going to need. Obviously, we're going to need our dredge, our egg wash, all of that stuff, right? You're definitely going to need your pasta. I'm using a pasta of choice, okay? My family likes fettuccine. We're using fettuccine. You like spaghetti, bow tie, macaroni, use the pasta of your choice, okay? I got a pot of water boiling. This is where that pasta is going to go. I've got some chicken breasts here, okay, that we've already started to smash so that we can evenly cook these throughout. With that, okay, take a chicken breast, lay a piece of plastic wrap down, put a piece of plastic wrap over the top of it. You can either use a meat mallet, right? I would not use the tenderizing side. I would just use the flat side. Or if you've got a pot or just a flat surface, the bottom of a pan works great. So go ahead and give this a couple good whacks. Make sure everything gets nice and tenderized. Again, you want to make sure we've got an even cooking surface, right? We don't want one part of the chicken to cook through and the other part not. We don't want one part to be raw. We want to make sure that this is all evenly cooked. All right, perfect. Then we're going to transfer this over to our plate here. If I can get this darn chicken out of its bag. I release you, chicken. I release you. Okay. All right. Now, I'll let that sit there. Make sure we dispose of our plastic wrap. Beautiful. Okay. Next up, you're going to need some breadcrumbs. This is Italian breadcrumbs, okay, that we've seasoned with a little bit of basil, some oregano, and some thyme. I've got equal parts flour and cornstarch here. Just going to give this a mix, as well as season this with onion powder, garlic powder, some thyme, basil, oregano, a little bit of salt. Put that in there, okay? And then I'm going to hit it with just a couple cracks of black pepper. Okay, perfect. Make sure that we incorporate this so that all the seasonings are homogeneous. Okay, this looks good. All right, perfect. Now, optionally, okay, to give yourself some of those real crunchy bits when you are cooking your chicken, take some water, okay? Stay with me here. Take some water and kind of just splash a little bit into your flour mixture. Okay, just a little bit. Don't have to go crazy with it. But when you do this, that water, I'm gonna go one more little dab here. Okay, now this water is going to collect some of that flour and cornstarch mixture, and it's going to create some of these like larger pieces of flour that when we go to dredge our chicken into it, you'll get those larger chunks. It's going to create this crunchy texture to our chicken. Okay, next up, we've got 2 eggs in a dish here. I'm going to take about a tablespoon of water in there, and then I'm going to give this a good whisk to get our egg wash. All right, this looks great. Again, just give it a whisk. Make sure you get, the egg yolks and egg whites all homogeneous, well incorporated. Perfect. Okay, now you're gonna go in this order: egg wash, flour, back into the egg wash, into our breadcrumbs, okay? Now, that being said, we're gonna need to serve this on something. So grab yourself a cutting board. That's where our chicken breasts will lay, okay? We're gonna take said chicken breasts. We're gonna take our first one here. We'll go egg mixture, making sure to gently flip this over. Get this all covered in that egg yolk and egg whites and water. Okay, let that drip for a second. Get rid of any excess egg. Into our flour it will go. Now, ideally, I'd have gloves on. I'd have a dry hand, a wet hand. I'd be going in with one with the eggs, one with the flour here, back into the eggs, okay? I'm using tongs here, but if you have gloves, I would 10 out of 10 recommend, okay? All right, that looks good. Now, notice how evenly coated, okay? There's no spots that are missing flour. We're gonna go back into the egg wash real quick, just a flip and a flip. There should still be some of that flour that adheres to it, okay? Drip any excess egg off and into our breadcrumbs. Now, you can do chicken parm multiple ways, right? You can deep fry it, you can shallow fry it, you can air fry it. You could bake it, okay? You're not gonna get maybe necessarily that same type of crunch that you're looking for, but you absolutely could bake it, okay? All right, this looks pretty good. Okay, now onto our cutting board here. That will go. And then you just repeat the process with the rest of your chicken breasts, okay? So I'm gonna finish up these chicken breasts, and then tonight we're gonna shallow fry these. So I will meet you over at the stovetop as soon as I am done with these other 2 chicken breasts. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned, I have more. All right, guys, we are back here at the stovetop. Now, we've got a neutral oil, we've got some vegetable oil in here. It's been heating up in our pan. I got a digital thermometer here, okay, reading with the oil being about close to 350 degrees, okay? And that's perfect, that's right kind of where we want it for a shallow fry. When doing this, please make sure that you are careful. I've got over here to the side kind of a wire rack for when our chicken is done so that it can sit there and dry and let some of that excess oil kind of drip off. So we're gonna go in first here with just one of our chicken breasts. When putting this in, please put the chicken away from you in the pan, okay? And we can actually fit 2 of these in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and in with my second. And I'm just gonna kind of let it do its thing, okay? Now, once we see that it's kind of crispy golden brown on the backside, we'll give it one flip, and then it should be good to go. Again, this is chicken parm, right? So it's gonna go in the oven with our cheese of choice, and our pasta to kind of let that cheese melt over the top. So it's okay if this chicken isn't like 100% 160, 165 degrees internally, okay? So if you saw my previous video, one way to keep a nice juicy chicken breast really is to kind of let it cook to almost 150, 155, and then let it rest and continue to cook. It's called a carryover cook. With this, since it's gonna go into an oven to let the cheese melt, I'm really looking at like 150, maybe even 145 as an internal temperature, because again, it is still going to be cooking even as it rests, and then again when it goes into the oven, okay? All right, now, you can start to see around the edges that they are starting to get a nice color, okay? And this is really what a shallow fry should look like, right? It shouldn't be fully submerged, but just enough to kind of cover the bottom and cover the sides. Once you start to see that crust kind of form and get that beautiful GBD, golden brown and delicious, then you know we're ready to flip, okay? So I'm gonna give these just a quick little look. All right, we're not quite there just yet. We're close. As I hold it, I can feel that breading kind of holding itself and adhering to the chicken. That's what we want. That's what that egg wash and flour and breadcrumb mixture is gonna do. It's gonna give this thing a nice crust, which will give us a great crunch when we go to serve this up. So we'll give these just a couple more seconds here. And then we will flip. And we'll be off to the races, people. All right. We're gonna give our first chicken breast a good flip here. Make sure you grab onto it tight and look at that. Look at that. That is what we want right there. Notice how it's evenly distributed, the color, right? It's golden brown all the way through, okay? That's because we smashed that chicken breast and allowed for it to cover more surface area as it went into our shallow fry. That's exactly what we are looking for. These are perfect. All right, we're gonna go ahead and flip our next chicken breast again, making sure that we are careful as we are flipping. Don't want any of that oil to splash again. Look at that, people. Have you seen anything more beautiful than a GBD chicken breast? Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. All right, I'm gonna let these continue to cook. When they're done, like I said, I'm gonna take them off, put them on this wire rack over here to allow some of that excess oil to drip off. And it again will carry over cook. It'll continue to cook before we put the finishing touches to this dish. We'll lay some cheese over the top of it. We'll get our pasta going here in just a few minutes. And then we'll be close to ready to plate. So I will see you in a little bit after these are finished cooking. Stay tuned, people. All right, guys, we are back after shallow frying these chicken breasts, and I'll tell you what, they look GBD. They look great, and I'll tell you what, listen to this. I mean, have you ever heard something so crispy in your entire life? Now, I've got the oven preheating to 350 degrees. We've got our pasta in the stock pot ready to go. Next thing up for our chicken parm. You're gonna want your favorite cheese. I'm using slices of mozzarella, right? And your favorite marinara sauce or pasta sauce. Doesn't always have to be marinara. You know, you can live outside of the traditional, okay? Now, next we're gonna take our marinara sauce. We're just gonna take a couple tablespoons, ladle some sauce over the top of our chicken. Now, I'm just giving it enough to kind of coat the top, right? Because obviously our pasta is gonna get some of that marinara sauce, so we don't need to overpower our dish here with marinara. I want enough just to kind of cover it, but I don't want enough that it's gonna soak into the breading and just make it a mushy mess, okay? I still want some of that crunch, some of that crisp from the crust. So I'm only taking like maybe 2 tablespoons worth of the sauce and kind of ladling it over the top, and then just kind of rubbing it over so it covers all of the surface area of our chicken. Okay, so just like that. Perfect. Now, the great thing here is if you have to pull an audible, right, you have to go a different direction, you've got crispy chicken, right? You could make chicken parm sandwiches. You could eat this as is, just breaded chicken. You could eat this on a salad. I mean, possibilities are endless, okay? Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with like 4 of these small pieces of mozzarella just down the center of our chicken, like so. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in an oven, 350 degrees for, I would say like 10 to 15 minutes, just to let it cook the chicken all the way through. When I pulled it out, it was about 130, 135 internal. So we want it to cook a little bit more, right? Then, like the last 5 minutes, I'm gonna broil these bad boys. Put some color on this mozzarella cheese, really melt it down. And then we're gonna serve it up with our pasta. And we'll be ready to plate, eat, and enjoy. So I'm gonna throw this in the oven and I will see you for the final taste test of our chicken parm. I cannot wait. The moment has finally arrived. Plating. Look at these beautiful pieces of chicken. I mean, come on. That looks magnifique. Okay, but how does it taste? Let's give ourselves one of these beautiful pieces of chicken parm over a wonderful bed of fettuccine, and you have yourself chicken parm. All right, the moment of truth. How does it taste? Now, we all know how pasta tastes, right? I mean, it tastes like pasta. But I am really interested in this chicken parm. So we're gonna go just the chicken parm, cooked perfectly. I'm done. That's it. That's it. I love this. I love this dish. I'm not a big Italian person, but I'll tell you what, if I'm at a loss for words. If I'm at an Italian place, I'm getting chicken parm. If it's not pizza, it's chicken parm. And I'll tell you what, this checks all the boxes. It's still crispy when you bite into it. There's not too much sauce. You get enough of the marinara, enough of that tang. Cheese, who doesn't love cheese, right? Like I said, the chicken is cooked absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now let's get a little bit with the pasta here. Pasta, chicken parm. It's a big bite, but it's a perfect bite. Get out of here. I can't think of anything more perfect than this dish. You have got to bake this. Thank you so much for watching. What is your favorite Italian dish? Do you like chicken parm? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you want to see me cook next on this show? It has been a wild ride. I cannot believe how far we have come. This is just perfect. Don't forget to smash all those buttons. Stay tuned for more fun, more recipes coming your way. This is Mr. C, the Cook and Teach. And this is Cook and Teach out.